Let's talk about Elon Musk, a name that's become almost synonymous with bold innovation and futuristic ambition. He's the driving force behind Tesla, the company that made electric cars cool, SpaceX, which is literally reaching for the stars, and The Boring Company, his most unconventional venture yet. Musk is famous for making headlines with his audacious promises. Think self-driving cars that navigate city streets, rockets that could one day take us to Mars, and even brain-computer interfaces that blur the line between human and machine. The Boring Company was supposed to be another game changer, a radical solution to one of modern life's biggest headaches, traffic congestion. The idea was simple but revolutionary. Build a network of underground tunnels to help people and cars bypass the gridlock above. Investors were captivated by Musk's vision, pouring in nearly $900 million in hopes of being part of the next big transportation breakthrough. The dream was dazzling. Imagine sleek, futuristic pods zipping silently beneath cities at incredible speeds, transforming the way we move and making urban travel almost effortless. But now, as we stand in August 2025, the conversation around the Boring Company has changed dramatically. The initial excitement and hype have faded, replaced by skepticism and some very tough questions from both the public and investors. Instead of high-speed pods and sprawling citywide tunnel networks, what we have today are Teslas driving through basic underground tunnels, often at speeds not much faster than surface traffic. The grand vision has been scaled back to just a handful of small experimental projects in a few cities, far from the sweeping transformation that was promised. So, what went wrong? Did we all get swept up in a dream that was simply too good to be true, or is there more to the story? Critics haven't held back. They call the Boring Company a flop, pointing to missed deadlines, canceled projects, and a product that looks nothing like the original pitch. The reality is a far cry from the Hyperloop fantasy. Instead of futuristic pods, we see unfinished tunnels and underwhelming results. Yet supporters argue that innovation takes time, and that the Boring Company is just getting started, slowly but surely proving its worth, one tunnel at a time. So, is the Boring Company a massive failure? Or is it quietly laying the groundwork for a transportation revolution that's just over the horizon? The truth is, the answer isn't simple. There are layers to this story. Challenges, setbacks, and maybe, just maybe, the seeds of something bigger. One thing's for sure, the journey of the Boring Company is far from over, and the story is definitely worth exploring. To truly grasp what the Boring Company set out to do, we need to rewind and look at its origin story. A story that begins in the heart of Los Angeles, a city famous for its sprawling highways and, unfortunately, its legendary traffic jams. In 2016, while stuck in yet another endless LA traffic jam, Elon Musk did what many of us do. He vented his frustration on Twitter. But unlike most, he didn't just complain. He tweeted, "Traffic is driving me nuts. I'm going to build a tunnel boring machine and just start digging." And, incredibly, he meant it. That tweet was the spark that ignited the Boring Company. The mission was ambitious, to completely reinvent the process of tunneling, making it not just a little bit better, but 10 times faster and 10 times cheaper than anything that had come before. This wasn't just about digging holes. It was about revolutionizing how cities could be built and connected. The plan? Develop smaller, all-electric boring machines that could dig and reinforce the tunnel walls at the same time, streamlining the entire process. This would mean less disruption above ground, lower costs, and faster results. But the vision went far beyond just building tunnels. Musk imagined a completely new way for people to move through cities, one that would bypass surface congestion entirely and transform urban transportation as we know it. Enter the Loop, a system where cars would ride on electric skates, zipping through underground tunnels at speeds up to 150 miles per hour. No stoplights, no traffic jams, just smooth, rapid transit beneath the city. And then there was the ultimate dream, the Hyperloop. Imagine pods traveling in near vacuum tunnels, reaching speeds over 600 miles per hour. It sounded like science fiction, but Musk's vision was to make it a reality. The promise? A system faster than flying, more affordable than high-speed trains, and as convenient as hailing a cab on your phone? It was a bold pitch that captured imaginations everywhere. Slick promotional videos showcased this dazzling future, gleaming tunnels, efficient electric vehicles, and a world where commuting was no longer a daily struggle but a seamless, almost futuristic experience. Investors and the public were instantly hooked. The idea of solving traffic with cutting-edge technology was irresistible, and the excitement was palpable at every tech event and product launch. The Boring Company wasn't just about avoiding gridlock, it was about building an entirely new layer of urban infrastructure, one that could reshape how cities function and how people connect. This bold vision drew not only attention, but also serious money. Investors lined up, eager to be part of what seemed like the next big leap in transportation. But with such high hopes, the pressure to deliver was immense. The hype was real. News headlines buzzed, social media exploded, and crowds cheered at every new announcement. The world was watching, waiting for the future to arrive. But as with any ambitious idea, the challenges were even bigger than the dreams. Technical hurdles, regulatory roadblocks, and the sheer complexity of urban tunneling loomed large. And soon, reality was about to set in. The journey from big idea to real-world impact was just beginning, and it wouldn't be easy. With hype building and the world watching closely, expectations for the Boring Company were sky high. People were eager to see if Elon Musk's bold promises about revolutionizing urban transportation could actually become reality. The Boring Company had to prove itself, not just with ideas but with real, tangible results. The pressure was on to deliver something that could silence skeptics and inspire believers. Their first major step was the test tunnel, built right next to SpaceX headquarters in Hawthorne, California. This tunnel, which opened in 2018, was more than just a demonstration. It was a statement of intent. Stretching 1.14 miles underground, the tunnel served as a laboratory for their custom-built boring machine, Godot. This massive machine was designed to dig faster and cheaper than traditional methods, aiming to make tunnel construction more accessible. Instead of the futuristic passenger pods that had been teased in early concepts, the company opted for a more practical approach, a modified Tesla Model S, fitted with guide wheels to keep it on track inside the tunnel. The ride itself was far from perfect. It was bumpy, speeds were capped at under 40 miles per hour, nowhere near the ambitious 150 miles per hour originally promised. Early riders described the experience as more experimental than revolutionary. Still, the tunnel was completed quickly, and at a fraction of the usual cost, proving that rapid, affordable tunnel construction was possible. It was a significant achievement, even if it fell short of the grand vision. Building on this momentum, the Boring Company's next big project was in Las Vegas, a tunnel system beneath the sprawling convention center known as the LVCC Loop. The promise was simple but compelling. Transform a 25-minute walk across the convention center into a quick 2-minute ride underground, saving time and energy for thousands of visitors. When it opened in 2021, the system used human-driven Teslas instead of the fully automated pods many had expected. It was functional, but not the leap forward some had hoped for. The LVCC Loop worked as a shuttle service, efficiently moving people through the tunnel. However, it felt more like a clever workaround than a true transportation revolution. The project demonstrated real progress and technical skill, but it also highlighted the limitations and challenges of turning ambitious visions into reality. The Boring Company had shown it could build tunnels, fast, efficiently, and at lower cost than before. But the big question remained. Could these tunnels truly change the way we move through our cities, or were they just an interesting experiment? The heart of the Boring Company's story is Las Vegas. The LVCC Loop was just the start. The bigger plan is the Vegas Loop, tunnels connecting the airport, Strip, and downtown. The system is simple. Go to a station, hop in a Tesla, and ride directly to your destination. No stops, no traffic, just point-to-point travel. The company claims high capacity, but real numbers are lower. The network is expanding with new stations and miles of tunnels planned. It's privately funded, making approvals easier. But critics point out, it's still just cars and tunnels with limited capacity and safety concerns. Costs are lower than subways, but still significant. The Vegas Loop is the Boring Company's biggest success and its biggest reality check. It's useful, but far from the original dream. The gap between vision and reality is clear. Here's the core debate: hype versus reality. The original pitch was automated, high-speed pods in a vast tunnel network. What we have is the Vegas Loop Teslas, human drivers, 35 miles per hour speeds. It's not a subway or a high-capacity system, it's an underground taxi service. Critics say it doesn't solve traffic, just moves it underground. Subways and light rail move more people, more efficiently. The Hyperloop dream has faded. The company is silent on it now. The California test tunnel for Hyperloop research, dismantled. The focus is now on the simpler loop system. For many, it feels like the company gave up on its boldest promises. The reality is smaller, slower, and less ambitious. The gap between what was promised and what was built is hard to ignore. The Boring Company's journey is littered with failed and canceled projects. The Chicago Express Loop, meant to connect downtown to O'Hare, never happened. Political opposition and skepticism killed it. The Baltimore-D.C. tunnel, stuck in reviews then abandoned. The dugout loop in LA and a beach tunnel in Florida, both fizzled out. The pattern announced big plans, generate buzz, then quietly cancel. Critics say it's all marketing, not real infrastructure. Musk's divided attention between Tesla, SpaceX, and X hasn't helped. The Boring Company often feels like a side project. Without focused leadership, big challenges become even harder. The company's credibility has taken a hit. The dream keeps shrinking. Let's talk money. The Boring Company raised nearly $900 million, valued at $5.7 billion. The LVCC loop cost $47 million, cheaper than a subway, thanks to smaller tunnels and new tech. But canceled projects meant lost revenue and momentum. The business model is more private taxi than public transit. In Vegas, rides are free for convention goers, but future expansions will charge fares. Can this model sustain the company, or will it always need new funding? The financial path is as uncertain as the technology. Big money, big risks, and no guaranteed payoff. The future depends on turning small wins into real growth. Despite setbacks, the Boring Company isn't dead yet. The Vegas Loop is expanding, with casinos investing millions. Slow, steady progress could be a smart strategy. Prove the model in one city, then scale. If Vegas becomes a hit, other cities might reconsider. Talks with Amtrak in cities like Nashville show continued interest in cheaper tunneling. The company is still improving its machines, like Proofrock, designed for faster, more autonomous digging. If they crack fast, cheap tunneling, they could impact infrastructure beyond transportation. The core mission, making tunneling better, still matters. The company's future isn't certain, but it's not over yet. There's still a chance for a breakthrough. So, is the Boring Company a $900 million flop or a future game changer? Right now, it's somewhere in between. The revolutionary vision hasn't materialized, no hyperloop, no high-speed pods. Critics see a novelty, not a solution. But if the real goal was cheaper, faster tunneling, there's progress. The Vegas Loop is real, expanding, and useful. The company's fate depends on making Vegas a model for other cities and driving down tunneling costs. It could fade away, or surprise us yet. For now, we're in the boring middle of the story. The next chapter is still unwritten.